Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. It is Friday morning, April 23rd, 2021. Welcome to a new episode of today's Best Stock Picks. And what an interesting day yesterday was. In case you weren't involved in the market actively yesterday, working your full-time job, you didn't happen to enjoy those giant red candles that came out of nowhere yesterday and shocked everybody out of their coma, pretty much. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at the reasons why that happened. We're going to continue drawing out and giving trading lessons on mapping out that short-term time frame of 1 to, let's say, 10 to 15 days. It'll help tighten up your swing trading strategy and allow you to fine-tune your entries and exits, but more importantly, know exactly what's going on and adjusting your trading outlook for each particular situation that you have in a really professional way. And that's really where you see your account grow month after month after month, is when you know exactly what you're looking for. So we have all that. Again, the magic sheet, it has a ton of stuff on it right now. We're going to talk about some earnings. We're going to talk about some earnings plays, earnings that came out yesterday, earnings coming out today. We got a few interesting plays that are trading on double normal volume, a couple of stocks that broke recent downtrends, looking for them to reverse back to the upside. We're going to revisit something we talked about yesterday, which was a giant purchase by Cathie Wood that got announced yesterday. And that stock actually rolled over yesterday, but it's still in play. You got to stick with those stocks. So stick around. We'll be back in 1 second, okay? Okay, we're going to start. We're going to go straight into looking at the market. So obviously the SPY keeps sniffing these all-time highs. But the way the market's been trading, we've really been on top of the hourly chart, and specifically over the last week or so. So what we've actually had, if you happen to be new to the channel, we've been screaming to the upside. We broke the downtrend over here, which means that now we have a quote-unquote line in the sand, and this is really what tape reading is. And once that line in the sand gets formed, there's only one of two things that can happen. You would break out to new highs or have a confirmed move to the downside. So a couple of days ago, we actually had a really good, clean pullback, nice profit taking, hit that level perfectly, and buyers came back in on Wednesday. And we thought, yeah, here we go again. It's going to be easier trading. It was like relief. It was kind of like hallelujah, both for day trading and swing trading. Trades kind of just flew off your fingertips. And then yesterday, the market was a little bit challenging from a day trading perspective. We had plenty of early opportunities, but then the market kind of went into a lull. But if you weren't watching the market yesterday, that's what happened. It was interesting. We were resting right at highs, which was kind of a nice afternoon follow through compared to what we got the day before. And that's kind of what we're looking for. The market took its time to finally get there. And then all of a sudden, bam, I hate to sound like Emeril Lagasse, but that's what happened. We end up just imploding on this news. Now, it was a little bit of an overreaction, maybe even a lot of an overreaction. Look, we have all of this money that we're borrowing. It's got to be paid back somehow, right? So if you go down to a little deeper part of the story, it's the largest proposed, that's the key word there, proposed hike since the 1920s, post-World War II era. It's only going to affect people earning more than $1 million per year. And again, I say only, putting the whole thing in context. But it still needs to be passed. Right now, it's just a discussion. So it definitely spooked the market. There's no question about that. Right now, the futures are kind of still hovering. It's almost like an echo where it smashes down and now it's just kind of bouncing. Maybe you could say a dead cat bounce, but I think the world, and we talked about this yesterday, is still absorbing the news. So that's where we're standing right now. So we're looking at the hourly chart. It hasn't changed. We mentioned it 2 days ago. We're looking at 418, excuse me, in the SPY ETF, or we're looking at below 410.50. We're going a little bit below the exact level. Those are the numbers that you need to set alerts for. You set alerts, that means you're a prepared trader, and that means something changed, or we're hitting new levels, which it looked like we were ready to head up towards those levels yesterday afternoon prior to the news. So the news is still settling in. So what do we do now? Well, we have American Express earnings today, and to me, one of the most interesting things about the Amex earnings today is, let me get that off there, is this part of the story down here. Okay, American Express is seeing favorable earnings estimates revisions as of late, which is generally a precursor to an earnings beat. That is really coming out. It's coming out pre-market, but that's really considered good news typically. So if we take a look at the Amex chart, and it doesn't look like the numbers come out yet, Let's go out to the daily chart to get a little, actually, that's kind of funny. You can see how much the stock has changed. And again, if you're not doing this, you really need to learn how to do it. You can see how you're actively getting involved in the charts. One thing I teach in the boot camp is you really need to learn how to work the charts. And this is what happens. And if you want to get everything from me, including all of this stuff sent to your phone, you can actually see a picture here. This is actually what it looks like. I said our bot sends all of them right to your phone. Click down below and at least learn about what's in the boot camp, because this is really what separates pro traders from everybody who struggles. So if we go out to the chart right now, you can see that the stock has not really done much in the last 2 months. However, we are hovering right near a breakout level. So you have increased activity. The stock has not sold off, and we're right at a breakout level. I am anticipating the stock having a really good day to trade today, which actually brings us into, and over the next couple of weeks, brings us into Snap. Now, Snap, very, very interesting how companies work. Reported here in the Wall Street Journal, revenue rose 66%. What's interesting is they're not making money yet. They are losing less, which is actually a pretty good thing. So actually now we're up 5.5%, 5.6%. We're actually up higher than that. But here's where we kind of like drill down again, right? We want to know what's going on in the most short time frame, and you can see how we've been drawing the short-term visual of Snap. But this is really the part that I want to get across. We're actually trading over 60, which takes us above this last 5 days to the downside. So we had sideways, and then it pushed it down, and then we went into this box. So we're up here. So we are looking to be long and looking for follow-through. It's an affordable stock. It's a stock that most people can get a decent amount of shares of. So as long as it opens here and trades above that, you should be able to see some nice plays in Snap today. Speaking of earnings, we're going to rattle off a few earnings. We're also going to discuss one of the top sectors over the last week and last month, actually, but especially over the last week. So earnings that are coming out today, we just mentioned American Express scheduled for today. Also Schlumberger, Honeywell, and Kimberly-Clark, KMB. Okay. Wouldn't be a day without talking about crypto, right? So let's actually get into Bitcoin getting smashed. We're actually going to go out to the most recent contract, and you can see where we are now. So what is the big thing going on right now? This right here. This level is where buyers came in once, buyers came in twice. So now buyers need to take a stand right now. You can see we're actually lower. This is a monster move to the downside. Ironically, all this is happening right after the coin IPO. So sell the news. There's reason that stuff is a cliche, because it's reality. We need buyers to step back in. So I'm going to show you what I'm looking for in Bitcoin today, as well as what I'm looking for in Oracle today. We were looking for a snapback trade in Oracle yesterday. The stock was strong as an ox for about 3 weeks, and now the last 2 days it couldn't find a buyer. I am looking to be long Oracle again today, looking for yesterday's low to find support, very similar to what I'm looking for in Bitcoin today. So I'm looking for Bitcoin to roll over here and have a snapback back above the low here, which as of right now is 47,395. So I'm looking for a push lower. You set an alert at that low, and then you look for the snapback. So we're going to jump right over to Oracle to show you that trade. So here's the Oracle trade. Here's the Oracle trend that I was talking about. We had a big topping tail here, right? Shooting star, it's known as, followed by an inside candlestick, which should have technically broke to the upside. It actually broke to the downside. Now we have 2 days of selling. One of my favorite plays. Now it's a little bit lower, just slightly lower than absolutely perfect because of this gap lower. But what I'm looking for, and you can set the alert now, it's 3 hours before, 3.5 hours before the market opens. Looking for lower opening and then a snapback. So the snapback entry would be around 74.75. So you're looking for it to push, you're literally looking for it to push lower, reverse, and then give you that entry. And it looks like we're going to. So best case scenario is it opens just a little bit lower. Now, the question, I know I get this all the time, and by the way, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Why are we buying it if it's going down? We're not buying a weak stock. It's a strong stock showing some profit taking right now, giving us a better opportunity to buy the stock at a different level, which actually brings me to Alcoa. Alcoa had good earnings. Now we have a double day consolidation here. So 2 days of consolidating after breaking out on good earnings. We're looking for this stock to open flat, trade higher, and trend higher for the next 3 to 5 days. So keep an eye on that one as well. So getting back to crypto a little bit, we want to take a look at a couple of other stocks that we've been watching and trading pretty actively, which is Mara and Riot. These stocks should be on your daily watch list. When they are in play, they're very, very I'm just going to say they're very good stocks to be managing as an active trader. You should have a daily stock list of stocks that if you happen to be a day trader, that you trade those stocks no matter what. I call them my universe, and you can actually see over here, I'll give you kind of like a little sneak peek. You can see it's literally listed as universe. If you want, you can snapshot it. Some of these are stocks that I watch every day. I got to update that one in the futures there, but you get an idea every single day. So Mara and Riot are stocks that are active pretty much every day. They have attention right now with the crypto market, and those are two of the biggest things, and liquidity is obviously the last one. Now you can see both of them are pulling back very, very hard. So here's the thing, and again, I'll give all credit to our community, and especially Aldo, who specializes in trading these stocks. Wait for them to give you a signal first from crypto, then it's a better opportunity to jump in the stocks themselves. So watch the crypto market and then look for these stocks to bottom out if and when crypto bottoms out. So if crypto has that snapback trade today, look for Mara and Riot to show some signs of buying as well. Okay, so we're going to go into a couple of other trades that we're going to be looking at today. We'll just go right over to the chart. These stocks actually traded double their normal volume yesterday. Some of them had earnings, and we're going to be looking for bullish follow through in these stocks today too. We're going to start out with TDC. We're also going to look at Blackstone, which had good earnings as well. And now we're going to work our way down into individual stocks. And this is the sector that has been the strongest over the last week or so. We're going to take a look at some healthcare stocks. So BTX, again, kind of an affordable stock there for most people. BNTX, again, you can see success leaves clues, right? Ruby, I'm going to give you, everybody, you can see what we're looking at in Ruby. We're waiting for this big pennant to break out. It finally did. Again, we talk about let the market tip its hand. EW, hey, start to see clues, right? Paying higher prices, pausing, pay high prices, higher prices, right? Moderna has had a very, very good month of April. Working our way down that list as well as MDT. So you get an idea of some good stocks, and MDT is actually going to be at the top of my list today as well. We want to finish up with just a couple of other stocks that are absolutely in my list today. HOG being one of them. Look at that nice follow through. And again, this is what we're looking for in American Express and Snap over the next 3 to 5 days. Excuse me, this is what happens on Friday. So finishing up the week, we're looking at DHR, CRWD, really nice breakout here. We just need to stay above that 217 level. DQ, not exactly perfect, but you can see, again, this is really working the charts. Click below, get in the boot camp, work the charts like this, and you are in control of what you're looking at. DQ finally got above that level. And NTES. And you can start to see here again. Let's actually work this chart together to finish up the week. This one's kind of fun. So we'll go over here. This is actually where the highest low, right? And actually, you know something, we could actually draw it even tighter is if we go over here. So now once we have that line, we have one or two things that can happen. And let's actually draw this together. Let's actually really do it with horizontal lines because it's just cooler. And that's it. So right now, once this stock pushed down, it broke the trend line here. So only one of two things can happen. You have a new trend, or you break down and you have closes below there, well offered like that, and you continue to the downside. We kind of just went into a pause there for a long time. So now the next thing you need to do as a trader is after a down move into a pause, you want to pay attention to volume. And let's take a look. And volume has started to expand on the up days, which is exciting, and that's called accumulation, which should not be surprising that we're actually bouncing out of that. So we've actually called a couple of stock trades with accumulation recently, Dash being the most recent one, where you go down, you go sideways. During that pause, only one of two things can happen. If during that pause volume's light, you would expect it to continue to the downside. If it goes down and sideways with heavier volume, that's where smart money is starting to build a position and you break out to the upside. So write that down, watch that a couple of times. It plays out over and over and over again. Those are the smart money footprints that you want to pay attention to. If you have any questions, absolutely leave a comment below. If you find this stuff helpful, absolutely give us a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe, then you'll get alerts too. So have a great day, everybody. I'll speak to you soon and have a safe weekend. Take care now.